Hi, this is a Humpty Dumpty story called Before the Wall. Here's the prologue. In a small town in Indiana, a small little egg was left alone and had to survive by herself. Her parents got killed early in her life and she had no one to take care of her. She was taken in by a friendly goose who thought of the egg as her child. Throughout her life, the egg was able to learn many skills and become self-dependent until one day she encounters a wall. There once was a small egg that lived on a farm. All the animals worked together to take care of her after her parents vanished. The little egg would trip over everything and fall on her side frequently. The farm animals decided to give her the name Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty was told that she had to start being more careful, so she asked Goose Marge to look after her. Marge would make sure she was always in the barn, never out of sight. Humpty would sneak right outside the doors of the barn while Marge was sleeping. Humpty knew she could get hurt, so she sat and looked up at the stars, wishing she was free. Humpty found her life very boring and had no interest in much anymore. She decided she was done being controlled and decided to leave the farm by herself. While all of the animals were sleeping, Humpty gathered her things and slipped into the darkness of the night, silently thanking Marge for everything she had done. So her journey began. Humpty was walking the highway when she came across a blue, broken-down truck. She hopped up into the truck bed and awaited the departure of her new life. The truck was fixed and on its way by morning. Humpty had fallen asleep, and when she woke up, there was a lizard staring at her. His name was Theo. Theo and Humpty became friends, and when the truck stopped in Ohio, they both got off the truck. Theo was the leader and showed Humpty how to live on her own. Humpty started to get scared, seeing all of the dangerous trees, holes, birds, and other cautions. She told Theo she wanted to go home, but Theo insisted that she stays. Humpty realized that Theo was a bad influence, so while Theo was distracted, she slipped into the woods. Humpty Dumpty was now all alone and had to learn how to get through the hard times by herself. Humpty faced her fear of the trees and walked confidently through them, only to see that the scary part was making sure she didn't trip on a root and break herself. Humpty ended up back at the highway where she found the truck. Humpty walked along the highway, making sure to steer clear of the potholes, and learned that she could face what she was afraid of by believing in herself. After 2 days of walking, she finally saw the farm. Something was different. After Humpty Dumpty left, Marge flew out trying to look for her. The owner of the farm got Marge back and built a wall to prevent it from happening again. Humpty Dumpty knew what she had to do. She scaled the wall carefully and slowly, making sure she made no wrong moves. When she finally got to the top, she stopped to rest and let out a sigh of relief. When Humpty saw Marge, she got excited and called out to her, letting Marge know she was okay. Marge saw Humpty on top of the wall and honked in horror. Humpty was startled by the honk and lost her balance. A letter from the authors. In this new version of Humpty Dumpty, we portray Humpty as a girl to show that girls are fierce and can get through tough times just like boys can. Girls shouldn't be treated differently when they grow up because they can handle things on their own just like boys can. The purpose of the story was to show how the beloved egg grew up through her tragedies that occurred early on in her life, changing the way she grew up for the better. Through the story, we show independence is good, but children can't do everything on their own and still need help from others. We show how children have to learn to make good decisions and become independent, but still need to rely on others to learn. And the back of the book information says, in this story, the prequel to Humpty Dumpty, it talks how she was taken in by a friendly goose after her parents were killed and when she was just a little egg. All was good in her life, and she was taught how to grow up to be a good independent egg from her goose mother. She was taught well, and all was well in her life, till she came across a wall, and that wall changed her life forever. Nothing would ever be the same again. The end.